Hello, and welcome to another week of the Xbox North podcast, episode number 14. It's September. Do y'all remember the night of September? No, nobody. Okay, you know what's funny? I tried to do that joke, and then I was like, oh, I think it's funny. And then I say it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's totally not. And then I'm just like, we have that dead air moment.
Too late now. You
Well,
already
this is
Yeah.
where we move past.
Absolutely. Just shut up. All right. Well, anyway, welcome back to another week of the Xbox North podcast. This week, we're discussing everything from September. There you go. I said it. Games with gold, all the Game Pass releases, new Dead Space remake, 3-hour gaming limits, PS5 downgrades, Tokyo Game Show, and maybe, and just maybe, let's talk a tiny bit of Starfield. Now, before we start, if you've been following us on YouTube and you've been watching our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page. Hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment down. Anything. Say anything you want. Well, don't say anything terrible. Don't be a douche. You can also find us on audio only on Spotify, Google Podcasts. Just look for our Xbox Podcast. We're also on Reddit, Instagram. Look for our Xbox North Podcast. And for Twitter, at North Xbox. All right, with me are my fellow regulars, my champions of the day, I want to say some sort of Destiny reference, but then I realized I don't play a lot of Destiny anymore. But
I thought you were going to say your two dads again.
my two dads,
two dads.
Yeah, well, no. I don't agree with that because you know what, you guys would be great dads.
Halo homies.
Well, I'm sure you'd let me
Will
play
be
more
great
than
dads. Thank you.
more than 3-hour game limits or whatever it is. But with me are my boys Dan Robertson, Joshua James. Dan, let me start with you because today I've just been like, I'm looking at you and you look like you're an underage kid that's working on a podcast, and I don't know, I'm in my 30s and I don't. But damn, you look young.
I'm
You
at
look
least
young.
old enough to be your dad still.
He's
So.
looking cleaned up. That's
Yeah, you looking sharp.
I'm telling you, he looks like
Up.
Miles. He looks like Miles's older brother from
Windows Central.
Windows. Yeah, Windows Central.
Yeah, you do. Though I am in the camp that I think Miles looks kind of like Tom Cruise, but I might be the only one that kind of thinks that. But yeah, Dan,
Right,
you're
I
looking
can still
sharp.
clean it up a little bit. I'm a little sharper, but
Yeah.
a little fuzzy. Getting a little scruffy.
Yeah. Well, it's nothing compared to Josh's,
For him.
his
That
Obi-Wan,
well-trimmed beard.
yeah, his Ben Kenobi looking, that's what he kind of looked like. You know what? You kind of look like Evan or how do you say his name?
Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor. Yeah, that's his name. Evan McGregor.
Mhm.
Evan McGregor. That's the American
That's all
people
a
that
beard.
know how to say properly. But yeah, how's
I
it going?
This stuff we get going on.
Yeah.
No, it's not too bad. We've been playing some video games, been playing some more VR. I was just, you guys were just watching me play some Arizona Sunshine.
Yeah.
Popping caps and zombies. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good time in some VR.
Yeah.
Doesn't beat the Halo times we were having, though, this week. So we were playing a little bit of Halo.
Yeah.
Halo
true.
4.
Yeah.
Get back in there, brushing up those skills for Infinite when it comes out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
maybe. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. And it's good. I think we should try to do more co-op nights. We should definitely need to do more sessions of like Halo co-op and all that stuff. Have you been playing any other games besides, 4 and some VR little bits or anything like that?
Not too much. I was trying to play a bit of the other games that I've got on my console, and I downloaded Psychonauts 2.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be definitely playing some of that. I was trying to still beat the last level on Destroy All Humans.
Yeah. Nice.
But man, I set the difficulty way too high. I suffered through everything else, but this last battle is difficult.
Yeah.
This person's got like 3 bars of health, and just hammers me. Like one shot will start just absolutely taking down my health. Takes out like 90% of my health, so I gotta like run around, avoid her all over, switching weapons and laser beams and everything.
Yeah.
And it just ends up destroying me. So.
I'm looking forward to you playing Psychonauts 2. I want more and more people to play Psychonauts 2 and talk about Psychonauts 2. I think it's a great game, but I'm happy. I'm happy that you're about to do that. Did you beat 12 minutes yet, by the way, or?
Not just yet.
Okay. Nice. Not just yet. Okay, I'm gonna help you. I will help you if you need it. I don't know.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm still trying to convince my wife to play it.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. So far, she's engrossed in a Chinese drama that's entirely in Mandarin. So she's got to read subtitles and everything, and she's already watched the entire thing too.
Whoa. Okay.
So she's rewatching it, and it's quite long.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pry her away from that one day this week.
Yeah. Try and do so. Also, our director of operations. I just give like new titles to you, Josh, every day. Yesterday I said, director of operations sound cool, or no? It does. Does it sound too jobby?
I'll take it.
Operations director.
Yeah, operations director. Yeah.
We'll see what you call me.
Yeah.
Well, manager.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Manager might be pretty good as well, but
handsome bearded fellow.
Yeah. Evan McGregor.
Your dad?
Evan McGregor.
Evan McGregor.
Yeah. Evan McGregor. Yeah. Josh, how's it going?
Things are going good. I've been playing Psychonauts, which has been a lot of fun.
Yep.
That game is really, really pretty, and they do a lot of interesting transitioning the level.
Yep.
Like there's this one shot where you see the lady's head, and then it zooms in onto her head, and then her head just splits open and turns into a classroom, and she's like in the middle of it.
I remember that part.
And I'm like cool, clever little ways to transition from scene to scene. But that's been a lot of fun. I've been playing Destiny, the new season of The Lost. So I was actually playing quite a bit of that today, trying to get the last week's stuff done and this week's stuff done as well. Playing with some of the new guns, so I've been really enjoying that. But I'd say the best thing that's happened since the last time we talked was, as I was mentioning last week, I was watching that pay-per-view event for Slap Fights on Friday with my wife. We got chicken wings. we put the kids down a little early. We were super excited for it, and I'll tell you, it lived up to everything we thought it was going to be and more. It was incredible. These guys just destroyed each other, and it was a pleasure to watch. Moist Critical, the Charlie from Moist Critical, was the he voiced over. He did the whole last fight between Dustin the Destroyer and the Wolverine. They went 25 rounds, man. 25 rounds
25. Ooh.
of just back and forth slapping each other. And
that'd be rough.
There was a point between round 16 and round 19 where they were just slapping each other back and forth. And it just was like bang, bang, bang. And I don't know how this guy, the Destroyer, how he just took those slaps from the Wolverine. His slaps were pretty good, but the Wolverine slaps were just ear-piercing. These were slaps. If there was a sound barrier that broke, you heard it happen in this event. Yeah. And he just slapped the guy so hard and so quick at speeds it's ridiculous. You need to see highlights from this. And the fact that this guy just takes it like it's nothing must be so discouraging for the Wolverine, because he was the one everyone wanted to win. Everyone wanted for him to win. And I even posted that. I said, I don't know out of these two people who will win. And everyone's like, it's the Wolverine, it's the Wolverine. And it's like an anime, dude. The Wolverine just keeps on going through all the floors, all the different opponents, and gets to the end and to fight him. And he's only lost to Dustin, to this guy, 3 times now. And he always just gets to him and loses. But man, it's the most entertaining thing you'll see. It was great.
It's pretty crazy. Just the clips that I've been seeing of it and everything. It's just watching somebody take multiple slaps like that. These people slap hard enough to just explode a watermelon. It's insane.
Yeah. Also,
The
just
dumpling.
seeing the face.
I know that guy well.
Yeah. I also like noticed like when they start kind of bleeding, and I'm like, oh my god, this. Yeah, that's when I'm like, yeah.
So there
Getting
was
cut
this
open
guy.
by a slap. That's brutal.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and that happened. And so there's this guy Frank the Tank, and he ended up facing two people that night. One of them, there was a match where this guy couldn't make it, and he ended up facing the guy. So his first match was against a newcomer who was like a arena football player, and this guy was like super jazzed to do it, and he was just pumping himself up. He wins the coin toss and gets a pretty weak first slap in, and Frank's like, okay, and then Frank winds up and knocks him clean cold out. Like, he just went down to the floor. He Thanos this guy. It was outrageous. And the second guy he fought, he knocked him out in the second slap, and the guy fell forward and smashed his face off of the barrel.
Oh.
And cut open his face because he didn't put his hands behind his back.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the ref's fault. It wasn't the beard guy who's usually on. And the ref should have saw that the guy didn't put
I feel like a beard would be an advantage in that sport.
Yeah.
Like growing like a heavy beard would be like, it could probably take at least some of the impact on the side of your face.
Yeah.
Actually, you would think that. The Wolverine has a huge beard, and he got rocked.
Oh.
So, I don't know, man.
You gotta hide some cotton in there or something.
Yeah.
You know, puff it out a little bit there. Some memory foam in there under the beard.
Oh, man. I felt bad for the guy.
Oh, man, it's amazing. Oh, that's really cool.
People lost money that night betting on the Wolverine, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
He's got the cool name and he's got the cool look, because I saw oh yeah, that he seems like, you know, the branding, you know, maybe he's like the
I keep on saying the guy's name wrong. It's not Dustin. Why did I say Dustin? It's Darius. Darius the Destroyer. That's who he keeps on coming across.
Okay.
Yeah, Darius.
Oh.
And Darius destroys him every time. But he gets like too many fouls in, and he's a dirty player, in my opinion. Where the Wolverine just like does the cleanest slaps you've ever seen. Like, they're so perfect. They're just the perfect slaps. And they have that slap sound. Like, when you hear a slap, like this is something you would hear down the street, and you'd be like, someone got slapped. That is the exact sound of a slap.
Just reminds me of the meme of like the guy with the car and everything, but he's just with his hand. He's like, that baby slaps.
Oh man. Oh.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
How about you, Andrew? What did you get up to this week?
Yeah, you know, what was it? A week ago, I got like a Canadian Arts Council grant for writing for a screenplay. So it was great because it gave me a little bit more like freedom to work less and play more video games. That is literally what is going to be. I mean, obviously, I have to deliver something. I have to do a project, but it was great because I like been hustling like a decade trying to be a filmmaker. I finally got like recognized for doing that. But what happened was like after that, I was just like, okay, let me play every game that I can try to find because like I was running low, and so obviously all the games that you guys are talking about, including Psychonauts 2. Play the crap out of it, but then I randomly just like the other day I just downloaded Splitgate. I don't know if you guys have heard of Splitgate, but it's kind of like this new free-to-play game. It's getting a bit of a fall. It's kind of like it's very arena focused. It's free to play, so you can download it. You guys can use my referral code. I like it. It's kind of a nice little. I don't know if I'm going to be playing it non-stop because it just feels like a nice Halo vibes before I play Halo Infinite. Obviously, like we can also just play the Master Chief Collection, but you guys should give it a try. Splitgate, it's really good.
Check it out. I saw a video for it. Just a little earlier because it's basically like it's kind of like Halo multiplayer with portals in it.
Yeah, essentially. So you're constantly never hiding. You have to keep it. I think why that's an amazing little like add-on is because now like nobody can camp. It's one of those things where like nobody can like go to a corner and just hide out because a portal can just come. It can come from anywhere, like even from the like from the sky, and you could just throw a grenade down.
It drops onto you. Yeah.
Yeah, or you could just like you can shoot through the portal if you see another person. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I was pretty impressed with what the game does. It's definitely got a little bit of like server issues. Like they really want you to just keep playing. Like if you're not going to play, like get off the server. And you can tell it's a small team because it's heavy graphics focus, but gameplay, gunplay, smart, just very, just very careful, and I'm enjoying it. I know a lot of people don't like multiplayer games, or they would prefer like a campaign version, but if you like some little rounds and all that stuff, but yeah would love it.
I enjoy that every once in a while. It's good. I'm definitely going to download it and check it out. I think I got it downloading right now.
Yeah, please. Yeah, it's good sessions too. And the thing is, like, it's usually each match is like 10 minutes. So, like, if you don't have a lot, it's a good little round. And it's, it's quite fun as well. But other than that, obviously what we're watching, Psychonauts 2. I'm about halfway done. I just can't, like, speak, like, much more than, like, what we're seeing. It's such a game that's, like, so needed for Xbox. We don't have a lot of platformers. And I'm kind of terrible at platform. I don't know. The jumps are always terrible for me, but it's not too. Yeah, it's the timing, but it's not too hard. But I'm just enjoying it. I just think. I hope you. I love.
Your mic's cutting out a little bit. Just saying.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like
it could be that. It could be that. Yeah. Remember when? Folks. If you weren't, it's really funny that Josh was talking about this because we were playing Halo 4 and Josh, you're just like, "Yo, man, your mic's cutting out." I'm like, my mic's like right here, and I'm just talking and I'm like nonstop talking. I'm like, Josh, can you not hear me? Can you?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I think I fixed it. And I just moved my mic closer. And I was like,
there you are.
And I was like, should I tell him? Or I'm like, no, I should just probably tell him. I should just. And I was like, the whole time, he's like, Josh, you were like trying to tell me to update the control. Like,
well, it's still cutting out a little bit.
Is it still cutting out a little bit? Oh no, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ignore you.
Yeah, I'm not like the host or anything, Yeah. But anyway, Psychonauts 2. I can't speak much more than the fact that it's creative, it's unique, the level design is phenomenal, the characters are great, the visuals are outstanding, and it's a lot of fun, and it's not too overly difficult. And we've needed a game like this probably for, in my opinion, almost a decade. I don't think we've had a lot of platformers in the Xbox. Especially
not exclusive. Not like good ones that you're like really looking forward to play. Like there were re-releases of Banjo-Kazooie and stuff and everything.
Yeah,
we're just adding those to Game Pass or whatever.
It reminds me of the kind of game. It reminds me of the Xbox kind of Xbox game the original Xbox had, when they were doing things like Blinks the Time Sweeper and Voodoo Vince.
And
then Psychonauts, when they were actually originally going to be publishing the first game. So it's kind of funny that they initially funded the original game, and now they didn't initially fund the sequel, but they finished funding the sequel. So it's kind of like a reversal right there. It's a full circle kind of moment for them. So they paid for half the first game, now they paid for half the second game. So
and if a lot of folks don't know who Tim Schafer is, I just recommend checking out his games like Day of the Tentacle, Brutal Legend, and
Brutal Legend's so good.
It's a lot. You know what, he brings a good charm. He's like, like if you ever think about like certain movie directors and you're just like, you know what, his movies maybe not commercial ones, but it's so good for the industry. I think Tim Schafer is like that for video games. He's just so damn good for the industry. What he brings, it's against the norm of everything else that I sometimes from game makers, right? Like, how there's people that love Kojima. I think Tim Schafer's in one of those he's in that level, and good for him. Good for his whole team, because it looked like they had some really bad times struggling with finances, trying to get a publisher, or they were. I think there was a good year they were just doing like small, tiny games because they couldn't get funding for real games. I think something happened or something like that. So great for Microsoft to come in and all that stuff. But yeah, other than that, I can't speak much more than the fact that if anyone's got Game Pass, please play this game. If you've got it on even the other console like PS4, play it. I don't care. Just just give this game a shot. Dan, I hope you play it and give this game a shot.
I gotta download it. I just gotta hop on there and actually give it a go.
Yeah. It's good, and it's not what is it? I think it's like more of a teen rating game. I don't know if it's like a chill, like I don't know if it's good for kids, or would you consider it like more of a teen rating game, Josh? I don't know. Like I don't know.
They deal with some heavier subject matter, so
yeah. That's true. But it's what I would say is that like I've always kind of thought like games like this is like they would probably flop if it was released traditionally. I think this is like it's a small release because it's like everyone's going to give it a shot. So
good for Game Pass. Releasing a Game Pass is just a phenomenal idea, and it just really shares the value of it and everything too, and gets you in there and playing it. And it just looks nice too, like for
pretty.
Like it's a nice updated platformer and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'm looking forward to their next few games, what they're going to have with Microsoft, because I'm sure these next few games, moving to our first topic of the day, I'm sure all their next games will be exclusive. And if I'm here to talk about exclusivity, I'm here to talk about Starfield, and I don't know why we have to keep talking about it, but can I ask you a question? Do you guys think Starfield is exclusive or not?
Well, it said in big, bold letters, Xbox and PC exclusive.
So that means a PS5 version is coming.
Yeah. If I go for it with my gut, I'm going to have to say the Switch version is going to come out first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the mobile version.
Yeah.
Then the mobile.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, the mobile version will come out first because of xCloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean,
first will probably be the mobile version of Skyrim because they need a few more of those releases first.
If you can get xCloud working through the browser. Oh wait, the PlayStation 5 doesn't have a browser.
No, no, sir. Dang. No PS3 or actually, did it have a browser on the PS4?
Or they'll release the browser right when Starfield comes out, and so people can just play.
And then people are like, you can play it by having through this. And then Microsoft, I'm sure Phil Spencer's like, haha, everybody to play. We want everybody to play.
Well, the biggest problem there is going to be that, like currently, at least on the like PC and everything, it runs off the Edge browser.
Yeah.
And that's a Microsoft browser.
That is true.
Well, this whole thing started off with, it was an interview Pete Himes had, and the way, these guys like to frame their sentences, decides to put, Starfield and then leads into, I don't expect, you won't see more games for us on the PlayStation platform in the
It's not that you won't see any games for us, but...
Yeah, you'll get, don't worry, you'll get the 500th release of Skyrim, you'll get Fallout 4 Special Edition, you'll get all those legacy games, no doubt.
Yeah.
But this all started with this guy, the Red Dragon, posting on Twitter that quote from the interview and says, Pete Hines leaves the door open for Starfield potentially coming to PlayStation. And in that thread, Aaron Greenberg, Pete Hines also all chimed in. They're like, no, it's an exclusive. This is not happening.
This isn't what I was suggesting. Yeah.
And just like the internet just clowning on the guy. And the thing is with the Red Dragon, I actually used to like his videos like years and years and years ago. So I was surprised when I saw him on Twitter. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy Red Dragon. I used to watch his videos. He had pretty good opinions. And then I'm looking through his stuff and I'm like, oh man, you've gone full fanboy.
Yeah, you've changed, bro. You've changed, bro. Yeah, you used to be. Yeah.
And I'm like, who cares like what console you're playing on? Like just enjoy games. Like
yeah.
you don't have to keep on just like being so negative. It's such a negative take on the internet all the time. And
I'm in this weird camp where like I think it's also next year is because I think they want to try to get into streaming sticks, or they want to, make like a browser app, or, like on like smart TVs that you could just download the app. I think that's what they're trying to do. That's why, and I think that's what maybe Pete will have an opportunity to play it in some as well. Like, I think he's just trying to be a nice guy. He always seems like he's like, he's always giving empathy, and he's always giving like a great response that also seems very professional and courteous. Like, I hear you that you're not going to be able to play it, and I'm sorry, and maybe there's like, and so that's why I feel like he's like, maybe, there'll be an app that you can just use on your smart TV, and you can use a PlayStation 5 controller, and you're okay. You know what I mean? And please, I hope, you do get a chance, but
well, I think it's a bit of politics too. You don't want to like necessarily just come straight out and be like, yeah, we're not making it for PS5. We're not going to. We're never going to.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because like that's just going to make PlayStation fans more angry.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be somewhat like political about it, and just like, don't worry. Like, we'll offer you up some stuff, but like Microsoft bought us, so.
Yeah,
we're going to be exclusive, and like we got to be polite about it.
And you know what? Most of these folks are pretty nice. I mean, you heard about the PlayStation head of studios congratulating for Psychonauts 2, which I thought was like a classy kind of thing to say, because you don't realize this, but most of these executives, they don't just have the one system; they have everything, and they understand. They're they understand they're gamers as well. So
even Cory Barlog, the director of the new God of War game, and I don't think he's directing the second God of War that's coming up. I think he's working on something new that's going to really blow our socks off.
Yeah,
when Sony finally decides to say something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
but he posted today a picture of the Xbox Series X and was like, "Oh, I'm excited for Halo Infinite. I'm sitting here waiting," and like people are like dogging on him. I'm like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, go jerk off with your plastic box somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm, if I was able to have like the money to buy a PS5, I'd also buy a PS5, and I'd also play some of those games. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. Like, I think all three of us in this camp.
Money for $100 game, like
here
and there.
I still want to play Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah, it's an extra $10 for us Canadians, folks. If you like, Josh ain't joking. It's an extra $10 right here.
Dude, you're $90 here.
We're $90. Yeah, $90 net. Cheap. Yeah. Exactly.
That's like what? Like, that's like groceries for a week. Like, not even like that's insane, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to, especially like when you start using Game Pass and then like farming for Microsoft points, and just it's really, you got to be real special to put your down. But then again, like, I have so much to play that I'm not missing it though.
Yeah.
So
and we should move on to talk about September and like all the great games that we're getting. Let's start with games.
Starfield.
Yeah,
it's exclusive, people. Just let it go. Like,
I don't think so. I feel like he's going to say something else, and somebody's going to decipher something from some certain word, and then
exclusive.
Yeah.
You go by every third word that he's saying.
Yeah.
He actually says, "will release Starfield."
Yeah. If you take
every sentence, it says, "help me."
Yeah.
Microsoft has them captive.
Yeah.
They're still working on a PlayStation version. I know it.
There you go.
Yep.
Yes. No means yes. All right. So yes, Starfield is exclusive. Let's talk about September. And we'll start with games with gold. I think it's actually getting better. I don't know about you, but I think the last few months, I feel like people have been criticizing games with gold for a long time, because I think Microsoft wanted folks to come out and get Game Pass subscriptions, and they didn't really care too much about games with gold, or they were trying to get rid of games with gold, or trying to raise the price of games with gold. But this month we're getting some pretty good stuff. We're getting two pretty big. Oh, look at that! Two Xbox One titles: Warhammer Chaos Bane and Maluka, and then through backwards comparison, we got 360 titles: Zone of the Enders HD Collection and Samurai Showdown 2.
Is that Zone of the Enders 1 and 2?
Yeah, it's the whole HD collection, which I would say I've got some like PlayStation friends who love that game, who love that series. It's essentially like a space mech game. Hideo Kojima was like a producer on it, and I believe it's got like 1, 2, and then I think it's like some other tiny little bit, but it looks really cool and it's got good reviews. It doesn't have like, Game of the Winning reviews, but I'm looking at it and going like, yeah, I'd pretty much love to play that game out for sure. There's a few friends of mine that they love this game, and it's kind of like their Mech Assault pretty much.
PS2 when it originally came out, right?
Yeah, PS2, and it was like I think it was PS2 and also Game Boy game for a while. Because I remember playing a Game Boy version of Zone of the Enders as well.
Really?
It was like I had a Game Boy Advance. It was Zone of the Enders. Oh man, I wish I could just find my Game Boy Advance games, because I loved having a Game Boy. But Fist of Mars, that was the one that came out in 2001. It came out for PS2 and then also came out for Game Boy Advance, and it was a bit of a cult hit, really well in Japan. I don't know if it was huge in like North America, but then I think it's got like a little cult following as well. And Hideo Kojima produced those games as well. He didn't direct it, but it was like his little like producing efforts and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, is there any like you guys thinking about? Like I don't know if I've ever played the Chaos Bane games, the Warhammer one, but I believe that there's an Xbox Series X and S version. So it got like backwards compatibility. It got like a Series X and S update.
Yeah, boost
when it came out. Yeah, so I might check that out because that looks pretty cool. Yeah,
it looks pretty interesting.
Is it like a Diablo kind of?
Yeah. It's not that back up. It's a little closer. It looks a little closer. It's like it doesn't look that isometric. It's a little bit closer. I'll give it that. I don't know if it's co-ops though. That was the one that I was trying to figure out of the game.
Definitely give it a try.
It'd be co-op.
Yeah.
You got 4 different classes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I don't know too much about Maluka or I haven't been following the Samurai Showdown games as all, but free games, give it a shot. You know what I mean? It's free.
It's part of Game Pass.
That's true. That's true. And then going towards Game Pass, I think this is a pretty underrated month. I think there's actually some really good gems to talk about. Like there's a couple of new releases that just came out. Also, if you've also played State of Decay, there's a big State of Decay 2 update. I don't know who's been playing State of Decay 2. Do you guys play State of Decay?
No, I haven't played much of it, no.
Yeah, I mean,
our buddy Ryan plays lots, but
yeah, Ryan plays it a lot. So he kind of messaged me saying like, "Hey, they got a big new update and all that stuff," and I think it's coming for Game Pass. But anyway, Game Pass games. We've got a game preview game called Craftopia, which I haven't heard of. Final Fantasy 13. I want to say X3. Is that 13? Is that who does know Roman numerals? I don't know. I played that one.
The Romans.
Okay, yeah, I played this one because this came out. This was one of the first like timed exclusive. This came out right. This was a lot of big news when 360 came out. It was like a Final Fantasy game coming day one with the PS3 great game, quite underrated. I don't know if I beat it, but I remember enjoying it. It was a little too long for me. A friend of mine was like, play it, and so I give it a shot. So I would give it a shot if you guys haven't tried it, if you're not into Final Fantasy. And then there's Signs of the Sojourner. I don't know what that is. Never heard of that. Surgeon Simulator, which I just like the idea of a surgeon simulator, so maybe
You got
I'll
that for VR. It looks pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta like go
Ooh.
in and like start pulling out organs and stuff.
Ooh, okay. There's a few others like Crown Tick, Breathridge, Nuclear Throne. The one that I'm really looking forward to that's soon in September, The Artful Escape. I think we talked about it. That game looks phenomenal. It's got really good voice acting, colorful, pretty. The music looks really cool. Dan, I think, I think you and Josh, you guys would really love it. After that, there's this one game that I've been looking that I'm kind of serious, but it might just be me, and I don't know if I've been talking with everybody else about it. The game's called I Am Fish, and it's like this.
I Am Fish?
Yes.
Are you a fish?
Yes, you are a fish, and it's kind of like this really cool, like physics-based, like adventure.
What kind of fish? Are you a sturgeon?
I want to say it's a goldfish. Actually, you have like 4 different types of. You're 4 fishes, and you're like
we
separated.
already played that game. If it's a shark,
Well, this is more interesting. It's like you, and then you're just like you're just like separated from their home from it. You're just trying to get out, but like you're using like a physics. But you also need to be in water. It's really unique. It's a really unique looking game. I do recommend giving
survival game.
Yeah, for folks to check it out. I think it's going to be a little like nice little fun Game Pass gem. It might not stick, but it might be really fun. And then there's a skateboarding game called, which is essentially like a skateboarding game where you're a bird. But I like skateboarding games, which might be pretty cool. And then there's Origami 2. If you can, if you've ever seen Origami, it's like a stealth game. It was on Game Pass. It was on that.
And it looks like a paper art style, right? Like a folded paper art style.
Oh yeah. That's Sable. Sable's the one
Sable.
that actually. Yeah. And then after that, then there's Lemonus Gate, which is this like FPS turn-based.
I don't understand how that works. I'm very curious.
FPS turn-based. Sorry, FPS RTS. That's what it was. Like
it's a first-person shooter, but it's like turn-based. I don't understand how they're doing a turn-based.
Probably like VATS mode in Fallout.
Yeah. It's
kind of like slows down time, and you pick where you're gonna shoot at.
No, I think you have like a certain amount of time to do your action.
You have a time loop. So it's a revolutionary turn-based strategy FPS taking place in a time loop. You harness the abilities of a powerful operatives and compete in 4D battles as you disrupt the past to change the future. Interesting. That's what I'll say. I just want to play it and check it out. When I was watching the footage, I have no idea what's going on. I was like trying to comprehend. I don't think it was like the trailer wasn't one of those things where like it explained everything for me.
Wasn't a great tutorial.
Yeah. It might be a questionable thing, but I'm gonna try it out. It looks really cool. I mean, it's just the fact that is. And then last, a JRPG game ending. So if you've been playing,
what game?
Astria Ascending.
Astria Ascending.
Yeah. What's that game? Octagon Path or Octagon Traveler? Is it Octagon Traveler or what it is? It's kind of that same kind of vibe. So that's pretty much.
It's more of a
Octopath Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It reminds me of. Did you ever play like Child of Light?
Ubisoft game.
I played a little bit of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It reminds me of that in the sense that it's like a side scroller.
Okay.
As it's like core like adventuring around, where like you can say Octopath Traveler was a side scroller in the sense, but
yeah,
it was more like a traditional like Final Fantasy where you had like almost like a top down view.
Yeah.
And then you got like a Pokemon game, right?
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy. Traditional.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but overall, I think that's pretty good that's a pretty decent month. Like I think there's some really unique games. Obviously, I think it's more of an indie game kind of month, but I mean, I know what's going to happen. I think there are going to be a couple more releases because they only been talking about a few games, but I'm secretly
missed that whole
excited.
last part. Say that again.
Yeah.
No, why is it? Is it my mic? Is it terrible? Josh, do you
It's a
need to
little
take the
rough.
lead? Josh, you might need to take the lead. Anyway, what I do want to say is that I think Sable looks really cool. That's because I love
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli games. But
Where's your Yeti mic, man?
this is the Yeti mic. I mean, let me see if this... Does that work better? Does that work better? No. Fuck that.
Might
Give me 1 second.
have to switch it.
How about now?
Yeah,
I hear you.
sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. All right. I will just have to
Oh,
bear
there
down.
Let you know.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Sorry,
think
boys.
switched
Let
it.
you know, or we'll just cut out your whole part and we'll re-record
Yeah,
that
yeah.
to midnight.
Yeah.
Don't
Or
worry,
just
I
like...
was
Or just
fighting
leave a
the
picture of
inside
you
my
up.
feet the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I was like, I'll surrender you a message. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Somebody take over. Somebody take over. I can't talk.
It's like he'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. Yeah. No, let me just keep listening.
That's how we do it here,
And folks
Or
at
podcast.
the
Oh.
Xbox. Yeah. It's
Fly
all the
by
way.
the seat of-
Yeah.
Flying by the
That-
seat of our pants. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Tech wise, I'm shit. Folks, just to give you a heads
I
up.
usually say the wrong saying, so like you'll hear that, and it's like I'll try and find like that phrase or something, but I'll just say something completely wrong. So leave a comment
Yeah.
on
No, absolutely.
the right one. Or my wife will watch it and she'll leave the comment for me. It's like it's actually this one.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Damn.
Go now.
All right. Well, speaking of tech, we just saw a little bit of a tech demo of the Dead Space remake, and they showed the difference. I
It's
really,
looking good.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, Dan, you know your tech stuff. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
listen. I'm a big Dead Space fan. I think it was the first true, genuine horror game for me that scared the bejesus out of me. I'm sure there were other horror games that did it well, but for me, this was the one where I was genuinely petrified. And I'm looking at the new like images, and it looks really cool. It looks
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And I'm surprised too because it's like a like it's like just a whole different look and like it looks much better. But like yeah, you picture it in your head as you're like thinking about it. Like me and Josh were just playing it not that long ago, and like you picture it, it looks like amazing in your head, and
Yeah.
like it does. Like it's an amazing game. It's held up for a very long time for its like graphic standards and everything. But like we were talking about before, it's just like yeah, it was about time it could do for a remake and everything, and I think they're doing it really well. Like they were taking the whole modeling of the hallways and the ship and everything they already had, and just applying some new textures, some new smoke physics, some new like text, like just much more detail in everything right now, and the lighting detail as well. Some looks like maybe some ray tracing, but it's hard to tell. It's just an image there, so
Yeah.
See it quick.
a game like that, I think, would do really well with ray trace shadows.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool because you're mostly in tight corridors, so like on-screen reflections and like whatever. Did you ever play Aliens Isolation?
Yeah,
I didn't play it.
It
I
was
remember
too
you
wasn't
playing it.
Yeah,
There wasn't any ray tracing in that game, but there was moments where you could see the reflection from the ceiling. So they must have did like a skybox inside the puddle.
Oh yeah.
But there's moments where you could see, and they could just do stuff like that, and not hack
I feel
the
like
system.
the one downside that's gonna be is like in the old version you can kind of see here is like the backpack with like your life bar and everything is so clear. Like it's just like it draws your focus to it. I feel like with all the detail and all the stuff they've added, it's gonna be harder for me to pay attention to that, and I'm definitely gonna die more often.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Other
though.
than that, they were showing off the like defleshing video and everything too. So they had like a whole example of like parts of him coming off and everything, and like just depending on the weapon that you hit him with, it's going to take off like more flesh than it would necessarily like cut off a limb or whatever. And if you go for those weak points at the joints and everything like that, you'll be able to tear off an arm. And he was even saying that like they haven't gotten it into the tech demo just yet, but they have the technology to do it where it's going to be like, oh, if you don't get all of the flesh off of there, but you separate the joint, then it'll still be like hanging off of there, and you can pull it off with your like one of your tools or whatever, your abilities, and just like rip it apart, and
so if
it looks
like
really cool.
There?
Yeah, exactly. If it's like dangling by a little piece of flesh, then you'll get to actually like rip it right off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be pretty intense.
I'm just like confused now. Like, is it because they kept on saying, oh, it's like a remake in the more of the vein of the Resident Evil 2 remake, where that was like almost like a completely different game. So, and from what I saw of just like that screenshot and just the overall framing of the game, it looks like almost just a remake, almost like what they did with the Halo Anniversary Edition. So I don't know. I look forward to get my hands on it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm also in the camp where I kind of want to see a little bit more. Like, this is good teases, and perhaps maybe EA Motive needed to see this, because I think like a few weeks ago we were saying, like, do you think a company like EA Motive is ready for like an undertaking of like a really great classic game that just scared the crap out of you? But it's good. It's good little developer diaries. I really like it a lot. I'm a little bit more excited than I was before. That's what I will say.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a spooky game. It's like, it's startling and everything, so I'm excited to play that though. Especially now that we've played a little bit of the co-op version, so it'll be nice to see the updated version.
I should try Dead Space 3. I never tried Dead Space 3. I did 1 and 2.
I hope they drop some co-op in this. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it's just like Halo style, where you're just like, splitting off into 3 people.
Don't talk about it. It's too soon.
Yeah. That's true. It's probably going to be like a whole December for sure. Probably do it. Yeah. No, but I'm excited about it. I think what I'm seeing so far, very good. Hopefully I can see some real actual gameplay trailers or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised to see something. I'm surprised they didn't show that when they initially showed off the game.
Yeah.
Like, why are we seeing this like a month later? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it was already recorded before and they just needed to show it in a separate time. I have no idea. Let's talk about a new Game Pass that might be coming in the making. Shots. Yeah. Oh yeah, Josh, I want to talk to you about it. Shots have officially been fired as Netflix started testing out their own, offering up an app on pretty much a Game Pass version. How do we feel about Netflix getting into gaming? Do you think they have a good opportunity to appeal to maybe a younger audience, as they have a very robust children's programming? What do you think it takes for them to break through? I mean, there's a lot of these giants that come into gaming. We just saw Amazon, we saw Google, and they kind of faltered. Netflix is huge, but
very huge.
They're not really known as a gaming company. They've definitely dominated, the movie and television. They are the number one place to watch this stuff. Anyway, the gaming service is now available only if you live in Poland, so we have no idea how it looks. I mean, we have no idea how it works, and it's mostly mobile, so I'm guessing it's not a lot of AAA games, or probably
I think it's like 2 apps right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it's not much. That's really
it's similar to, like, they've got, from what I was seeing, was like they're putting kind of maybe their like show related games, because they're getting more interactive episodes.
Yep.
For Netflix series and stuff, and they had like some gaming related stuff to, I think, Stranger Things.
Have you guys ever seen Bandersnatch? The what's that anthology, that sci-fi anthology show
Yeah,
that
the
Black
Black
Mirror?
Mirror.
Black Mirror, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I feel like maybe they could do something with that. Um, I don't know. I feel like I want to like mobile, cool, try it out. But I what do you think?
I think I think what they have the best opportunity is they should take their children's programming, like okay, my son,
Mhm.
and Dan, your kids. If you pull up
Yep.
Netflix, you'll see things like Chicho Bon Bon, or they just have like our Corey Carson, or just like their original children's program. Why don't you make good educational children games aimed
Yep.
towards like that? I feel like they have a good opportunity to maybe not so much appeal to the hardcore, Call of Duty players, but maybe more
Mm.
of like the children
Like the
educational.
casual entertainment stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I feel like there's a good opportunity there for them to break into
yeah,
that
Yeah.
field for sure.
That's
yeah.
one thing we try and get our kids on quite a bit and everything. Is just like Duolingo and everything. There's like Duolingo Kids and all sorts of stuff for learning new like educational things. There's some like Discovery Channel games and everything too. But like yeah, the hardest part is finding like a good platform to actually get those educational games in and everything.
Yeah, and I feel like no quality developer makes these games either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I, you know what? Competition's always great. Also, like the mobile market. Obviously, we barely talk about mobile, but we can all talk about freaking damn big the mobile market is. It's practically taken over. So perhaps a subscription service could probably take it really well. Yeah,
you never know, right?
you never know.
But
You never.
it's
Yeah.
definitely the start of something. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see.
They did say they are trying they want to start on mobile, but they have bigger plans. They have bigger plans. So we'll see when bigger plans unfold. You know what I mean? This is kind of like developing news. That's what I would
Well,
say. Yeah.
I know something that is definitely not bigger anymore inside a certain console.
Blockbuster.
Oh, look at you. Block is
Netflix
it
destroyed
yeah.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Are you talking
But
about a
this next
down?
one, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely got some missing pieces.
Missing pieces. Look at you guys with the hints right there following the script. Are you guys talking about the downgrade? The PS5 downgrade that obviously it's a video that came out, but it's the truth, folks. I mean all I can say is this, there's the truth and then there's the truth. And this is the truth.
Like I understand the business points behind it. So like
Yeah. Cost effective, all this
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Like you got to start saving some money at some point,
Well,
especially
Andrew,
like
Yeah.
what happened? Tell me. I don't even know what you're
Well,
talking about.
oh yeah, that's true,
You lost here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sony has officially launched their new PS5. And in the aspect of the heatsink, it looks like they've gotten a downgrade. Oh my god, if you can take a look at this image. Yes, as Dan just said, it should be more cost efficient as it's clear. Or will this impact its performance? Only time will tell. Tests need to be done
Yeah.
internally, but a smaller heatsink can never be a good thing, right? Let's see, a new console just came out, and there's going to be a bunch of like games that are going to like push its limits. Oh, I'm going to say my money is like, yeah, this heatsink thing is, I don't know if it's a good idea. All I'm going to say is like, I think something's, what do you guys think? I don't think.
I think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, like just to like, I understand the cost saving factor of it and everything, and where you want to like keep that money or like try and reinvest it in something. I think it limits. Like you can see the image here, just like the heatsink is like half the size it was before.
That's kind of
And, like,
scary.
I mean, like eventually you're going to get to the kind of point where the Xbox One and PS4 is now, right? Where it's just like they're stretching it to the absolute limits of what it's capable of. And if you're going to hinder what those absolute limits are, like it's already a few degrees warmer than it was before. Like we've seen things like you can cool down the PS5 way more just by taking the side pieces off and leaving those off while you use it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not considering that the design for the Series X is essentially like a chimney, right? They're like, oh,
Hmm.
chimneys
Yeah.
work, right?
Yeah.
So uh, I'm just surprised uh, how much of a reduction in materials the heatsink is. Like the whole copper back looks like it's completely gone. And
Yeah.
you know, he only took like a thermometer check from the back of the exhaust, but inside this box.
Sorry, I'm
But
like, yeah, like I was about to put the video on, but I was trying to be like, yeah, no, I'm.
but like if I took your PC and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put a smaller heatsink in there, you'd be like, okay, so it's gonna run hotter, right? And like they're the design of their console is already awkward enough for like air intake in itself that, like Dan was saying, you have to make your console run even cooler, take off the side panels, because like as soon as you remove the side panels, you're like, oh, there's a fan underneath here. Like,
Yeah.
why are we blocking the fan? Like, I know it shoots out the side and stuff, but like it still kind of comes out the front. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
It's a strange design for me. Everyone I've seen that looks at it is like the SSD even is like, as nice as that is to be able to have more customizability to drop in there and everything, SSDs generate a lot of heat too.
oh,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like you're sticking that in like an enclosed space. They were even saying like you can save a couple of degrees there just by leaving the plate off. And they checked and like you're able to do that as well. It's like it doesn't hinder the actual performance of it or it doesn't stop it from running if you leave that side plate for the SSD off as well. You can have its own cooling fins on it.
I'm curious when games are finally being designed for the console, like not cross-gen anymore, and really pushing the horsepower of that console. I'm curious if there will be a difference in maybe a couple frames between the two. I don't think we'll see any catastrophic like failures across the board and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They must have some data here and there, but I'm curious if it will sacrifice a few frames here and there in the future. But definitely, you never want to see a reduction.
Yeah.
Like if this was the other way, if the shoe was on the other foot, and this was the Xbox Series X, and they did this, they would be so crucified across the board for doing this. So
Yeah.
Well, it's just it. We've seen what heat issues can do. Like they were the main bane of the existence of the Xbox 360. Like PlayStation 4 has been criticized for its like overheating problems and stuff, where it's just like, yeah, it's getting too warm and stuff's starting to suffer because of it.
oh yeah, did you? It reminds me of this video. This guy took his PlayStation 5 and totally redesigned it and water cooled it, and
Yeah,
now is commissioning that out. Yeah, look at the video, water cooling
That's
PS5.
fun.
And he's
yeah,
like, hey, if anybody wants me to do this to your PS5, let me know. I'm like, yep, you're going to get a lot more orders in for sure.
Yeah.
right. That's just it. It's like it's funny because I think that's gonna be the way it goes, kind of for the PS5. Like they're like it's gonna kind of go the way PCs do. You're going to have more customized setups and everything because there's just more of a requirement for it. Like, I love the Xbox, especially like the way it's like all ready to go. It's nice and cool. It runs super fast. It does everything I need it to do with no like
Yeah.
bells and whistles or extra stuff that you need to do on the side.
Yeah.
With my
Just work.
PC, I like building stuff myself and customizing it and doing whatever I want to it. So I think that's where the PS5 is still going to hold out a little more, and they're going to have a little more of that niche market where, like, yeah, you can pull it out. You can put in a crazy fast SSD or something. I mean, there's still limits on it right now. I know they only go up to 4 terabyte, I think, for the PlayStation support, and you have to have Gen 4. So I mean, hopefully we'll see Gen 5 when that comes out, and just see like some crazy performance on some of the better SSDs that do come out there. But I mean, at the same time, you put one of those in, that's going to be more heat. So if you can customize it, put some water cooling in there, that might need some of that for the SSD too.
Yeah, well, look up that video when you can. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
The guy does a good job.
Yep.
I'll definitely check that out.
And just to kind of like reiterate, like this isn't some like like video that's like about to bash like the PS5. This is just like just honest to God truth. It's built worse. It's built.
Xbox had the same problem. I had a buddy making money off of fixing the heatsink problem on those 360s.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling them apart, and it's just separating from the motherboard, so you got to pull it off and glue it back down.
Yeah.
Get thermal paste in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened to everybody, like Microsoft.
Sega, I think Sega had a use like something like that. I mean, they had some different issues, something else, but
and PCs have them all the time, right? That's just a basic computer issue. Heat's a thing you got to get rid of.
It's true. Perhaps, maybe all this is because all of us, in general, are playing way too much video games, and they're just playing it for too long. Playing it for way too long. You know what I mean? Like
maybe they should restrict us.
Yeah, like I think I should. You guys are my two dads. I think I need some like small gaming. Please, my two dads.
Time limit on your stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in some countries, it's not your dad who tells you how long you can play video games for. It's the government that will.
Which is also your dad.
In China, it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this
Big Brother at least.
Yeah. Let's talk about our big discussion of the week. We talked about China before, but we just sometimes we get these kind of random news. We got to talk about this because I feel like, yes, it's an Xbox podcast, but sometimes you're just like, come on, we have to talk about this. China has implemented a 3-hour gaming limit for its citizens under the age of 18. China limits online gaming time for children for 3 hours a week. Not a day, a week. China is banning children from playing online games for more than 3 hours a week. It's it's the gaming industry of all I could say is
seems like one of the harshest, so far that they've implemented.
All I could say is this is just kind of stupid. But perhaps maybe Blizzard can step in and be like, well, StarCraft is so good for the economy, we should think about expanding this. I don't know. That's a crappy joke against Blizzard, but this is just stupid. That's all I'm going to say. It's just stupid. That's all.
Yeah, it's like telling parents how to raise their kids and what they feel is necessary to push on them. It's like it's not like we're talking about drugs and alcohol. And like till you're 18 years old, man, like that is like I can okay.
How do you enforce that even?
Yeah, how do you enforce? Well, how they enforce it is they have a system where they have a social system. So people, there's literally narcs. Like I've seen documentaries on how their social system works. And there's literally people in the neighborhood that will just report on you. Oh, I saw you jaywalk. I'm going to write you down in my list and I'm going to report you. And then your social score goes down because of that.
Yeah.
So there will definitely be people enforcing that, and if they're not enforcing that, they'll be like, "Oh, I walked by the apartment door. It sounded like he was playing Fortnite or something," or
playing all hours.
I saw my neighbor kid in the window, and he was playing for more than 3 hours, and he gets reported, and they get fined or something worse. So it's just outrageous because it comes down to like trying to police like your kids and like. Yeah,
micromanaging a whole country.
Yeah, I think about also like that kid that I was like this insecure kid that like with gaming I was able to just like focus on things. And actually, I thought gaming actually in my school actually did a lot of things that I really liked. Yeah. It influenced actually what I wanted to do. Filmmaking stuff, like quite a few of the games, like Halo was like such an important aspect of like my childhood and my friends, like the fact that I did this thing with you guys. It wasn't, obviously we're all talking about.
It's extra surprising seeing this come like right after a pandemic where everyone was locked down and in a house. Like you can't see your friends, you can't go and visit people.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what are you supposed to do there then?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and then there's like, my mom worked like 80-hour weeks and stuff like that. And to have anything that could distract us for longer than a movie would be,
yeah.
a blessing for her because she, had to work or she had to, when she's not working,
Yeah.
you have to clean up after these like little gremlins. Like it's tough. Like, and
yeah.
to, and I can imagine for some parents who are just like, I don't mind my kid playing for a couple hours every day here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This removed for them.
Well, they've been proven to like improve like hand-eye coordination sort of things. Like there's storytelling, there's cinematics, there's so many things that you can get. Like even just Psychonauts right here is like it opens up discussions about mental health and everything like that. And I'm sure that may be part of what the government there is afraid of. But at the same time, like, is it not more beneficial to have these kids grow and advance and become better for everybody's future?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter because they just copy off. Like look at like their technology. They copy everyone.
Yeah.
Like you open up a factory in China, another factory next door to you just stole your plans, or the person who owns that factory literally stole intellectual property and patents and information, and they just
Like
start.
live action of the Krusty Krab and the chum bucket. This
Yeah,
plankton trying
exactly.
to steal Mr. Krabs'
That's
plans.
a great episode.
Yeah.
That's a great episode.
But
Yeah.
the countries where they do allow free thought and actual like advancements in
Yeah.
technology, and like look at their space program. They're even trying to copy SpaceX and stuff right now,
Yeah.
and what Elon Musk is doing. They're just
Yeah.
Okay.
they're a bunch of copycats, and they're oppressive, and they're and I'm not saying, and back to our old conversation, I'm not saying about the Chinese people. I'm talking about their crazy ass government.
Yeah.
Just like
Just it. There's a beautiful culture and everything over there. Like beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
like the games we get coming out
this
of like
came
the mythology and everything out of there.
Great
I
art.
love
All
them.
that stuff. Yeah. Great folks.
That's just it. It's hard to see that happen to a whole other people, and
Yeah.
just see.
Gaming
What
has
is
been
restrict like cartoons and anime next? Like
yeah.
it's like it feels like anything where like video games are very expressionary. Like you were saying, it teaches you hand-eye coordination. It allows you to solve puzzles in a virtual space and think more. So, but you know what? They don't want you to do that. So
Yeah.
they don't want you to
But
think.
it's funny too because it's even like I know like one of the Borderlands 3 game they had in that they were putting gamers to work. It's like just to get like more scientific research out through a mini game that they had implanted in the game where you can actually solve like basic data input stuff that would take researchers years and years and years to actually input. Like some of these games are doing like 300 years worth of research that are basically just like advancing all of the scientific like research that's around that. Like they're solving DNA strands and everything, and like mapping different different technologies and everything. They're just
I even just think about Flight Simulator, even though I'm not playing it much. There's going on, and just like people being able to watch the hurricane and like live. It's just I just think there's like an educational they're misrepresenting. Here's the thing. I also do understand when like young children are playing like 5-6 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, and I find that maybe
I
that's
understand where it could be too much.
Where it can be too much, but 3 hours a week is just
But that's not for the government to tell you.
To tell you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What can you say? Yeah.
And like, but this is also them just like slapping their tech industry. Like this shows that they don't give a shit about money. They care about controlling their citizens because a ton of money got flushed down the drain and evaluations got thrown out of whack for Chinese companies like Tencent and other Chinese video game developers. Like, this is not something that is just like, oh, kids can't play games can only play games for 3 hours a week. This is going to set a negative tone towards games in the country. For parents, they're also going to be fearful of their kids playing too much games, and game developers, like, this just hurts game developers out there, period. That's the bottom line of it. And it just shows that they don't give a crap about some of the biggest companies in the world, like Tencent, getting hit financially, which hurts them financially. But as long as they can rein in control, that's what matters. So,
it is what it is. All I could say is that I keep thinking about the young guy in me, that like how games made an impact, and I think about how it made an impact with my friends. I think about how like socially it helped as well. You know what I mean? Being a immigrant from Sri Lanka, barely speaking English, and the teacher's like, "Oh, let him watch. Let him put the subtitles on." Oh no!
Were you saying your teacher what?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was just talking about like my teacher like telling my mom like he should watch a ton of movies and play a bunch of video games with the subtitles on, and so I think about how important Knights of the Old Republic was for me with the dialogue options. I know it's so trivial, such an important part of my childhood. Like what it helped with, like just getting to. I was learning English when I was 8, so you know what I mean.
They're just like socializing.
Yeah.
Like everyone coming over and playing Halo or something, like
split screen, LAN
plays all night, Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know how I would have gotten through COVID just with
Thank you.
Not being able to play with you guys and see you and
There was a moment where I was just like, okay, I've got no job. I don't have a lot of stable income right now. I can't go out and do other things. I can't even like do anything, whatever. And I'm just like, I'm staying home playing games, and some of them that I already own, and I'm just being able to play a match with you guys, right? That's a good whatever. Guys, it is what it is.
Yeah. Not that video games are the end all be all of everything, but I mean they play an important part. I know they played an important part in my life and everything, and lots of other people, but that's just it.
Yeah. Well, I just don't like just agreeing with everybody else. I don't like being told what to do like that. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to our little final talk of the day, I guess. I'm calling it a final wishing segment. I don't know why I wrote that, but I don't like the idea of a wishing segment, but we should say it. Tokyo Game Show. It's going to be scheduled the end of this month of September. Xbox is going to have a showcase with some exclusive news. With their recent success of the Series S and X console, especially the Series S in Japan, do you think we could get some big news out of the conference? Josh, you were mentioning possibly before, but Persona coming to Game Pass finally. Maybe an acquisition of Sega? I don't know. I feel like Microsoft has a great opportunity to show the Japanese audience they are very serious. I've noticed Phil Spencer talking about how important, Japan is to push when they feel like, they finally needed that push. I think obviously with Game Pass, with cloud streaming, Japan right now is huge on the mobile. That is the number one thing for them right now. Like, the PlayStation and Switch are not as popular as it used to be. It's mobile.
The Series S is doing good too.
The Series S is doing cool. So, in the end, what do you guys want to see from the Tokyo Game Show and, from also the Japanese market? I'll say my piece after you guys, but I'm kind of looking at this and going like, maybe this might be like a secretly good show. Maybe this is why they were holding some Gamescom stuff back. I don't know. Actually, Gamescom was just a disappointment on our showcase end, but what do you guys think?
I think it's hard to say. I think a Sega acquisition would be pretty awesome. I'd love to get back into playing some Sonic games and everything with my kiddos, and Let them experience a little of that Genesis beauty that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Genesis was a great console.
Right?
Yeah, that was a great. Yeah, I had a
Oh,
Dreamcast.
if they came out and said, "Oh, we purchased Sega," like that would be huge because man, Sega has separated their like
Yeah.
pachinko side of the business away from. Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like Persona is a lock. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's get Persona. Like
Right.
Persona, even the developers put out a survey not too long ago, and in the survey say, "Would you want it on Xbox?" I'm like, who would say no to that?
Yeah.
Right?
Like anyone taking the survey would be like, more people playing Persona? Yes, absolutely. Come on.
Yeah.
Look how successful Yakuza was for
Game Pass. Yeah.
Game Pass. Yeah, definitely brought that to a whole new audience. I would say their new one, Like a Dragon, wouldn't have been as popular if it wasn't for Game Pass. But I don't know. I would love to see. So my pie in the sky, my wish, as your segment is called.
Yes.
The final wishing
Yeah.
segment. I want a Jet Set Radio Future 2. Give me a Jet Set Radio Future 2. Like, if they came out and said that, then that would be the conference. That would be like the crazy announcement we wanted this year, where no one was guessing it and it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Also, I know it's not going to be a thing. Or no, it could be. They could finally announce that Final Fantasy VII is coming to Xbox, the remake.
Maybe even
That'd be
Game
cool.
Pass. Maybe right on Game Pass or something like that.
So I feel like there's opportunity.
I'm in the camp where I think they've got something big. I'm debating that maybe the secret. I think that might.
Sorry,
What was that again?
The Kojima project. Do you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that secret Kojima project might be announced, or it might be in the Game Awards. I don't know.
Kojima even apparently mentioned that watching 12 Minutes, he wants to create more of like an adventure game like that.
Yeah. These guys don't just randomly say things on Twitter for fun.
Right.
I know we all think so, but most of these folks have like, like a person that like
Elon
tells
Musk,
them,
definitely.
Yeah.
He just says whatever the hell he wants to.
Yeah. Most of these folks are like told to do this so like they can create some speculation, because then there's people like us that will talk about it, and it like certain things sometimes arise. I'm in the camp where I think something like maybe either like they just coming up and they're just shaking hands and saying I will be coming to Xbox. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think he would be good. He's like a for them in the landscape of Japan. He's like a
He's an icon. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think it will be at least better than Gamescom. I think Gamescom was a little bit of a disappointment, but Phil Spencer keeps saying like, Japan is an important market. It's an important market. So if you're just saying all that, you've got to be doing a reason behind it, right? What do you guys
Give me Lost Odyssey 2.
Yes. Oh man.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
What a great game.
Yeah, that was an underrated game. Or a nice little JRPG. Fantastic. Whichever knows. Yeah. That's I think that's it for this week.
Give us Skyrim, the JRPG edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anime,
no more.
It's just Skyrim, but it's like Jensen.
Yeah, just totally anime art style.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Or just some sort of announcement from Game Pass from that. But man, what was that game that we were talking about? Doke V. I can't stop thinking about that damn game. I just like
right. Like that game, it's funny. I told my friend about it, and he thought it was like the stupidest looking game. I'm just like,
no.
But are you actually like looking like okay, like yes, like you're playing as children, and it can, like the graphics can be a little off-putting. But like when you just sit down and like actually just watch what is actually happening in that game, it's insane, right? Like we can all agree, like. Like you're skateboarding, you're rollerblading, you are gliding across the world. You can like go to the beach and just hang out with your friends. You can ride on animals. You can capture monsters. You can fight alongside your monsters. You
So
can
many things you
explore a
could do.
city.
Yeah.
Like, this game looks outrageous. Like, it
Yeah.
looks like if Game Freak took the billions of dollars and actually put it into a game.
A
Instead
proper
of making
Pokemon
these-
game. Yeah.
Like, man, you see that new Pokemon Legends coming out and they're like, oh, it's an open world Pokemon game. I'm like, it still looks like crap. I'm like, how do you have a console where you have a game that looks like Breath of the Wild, and then you come out with this Pokemon? Like, you finally got away from making handheld games, and now you graduated to the big boy leagues to make console games, even though it is a handheld, and still you produce this kind of looking game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yes, Doke V or whatever it's called, 100% into it.
I'd be looking forward to if it's any footage of that, but anything
that frame rate. That frame rate was
a little questionable. But you know what? It's early footage. I like the music. I liked everything. Yeah. We'll see. That's it for this week. If you've been watching this video on YouTube, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, talk about all the like stupid little mic moments that I had in this episode, and
don't worry, we'll get it fixed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's probably using your headset mic instead of your Yeti mic.
I think that's probably it. Also, you can also find us on...
like 3 episodes ago, when the one where I was hosting again, it used my laptop mic, and I'm like, why does it have like this buzz
weird
in the background?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
you did have a different sound.
Fan. I'm like, oh, it was my ceiling fan over there. I'm like, oh, great. Like, but this is it's in the end. Thank you for all your patience for listening to us. We do appreciate it. Everything is kind of a learning experience. And you know what? When we're at like episode like 100 or something like that, we'll look back at this and we'll just laugh. We'll be like, look how shit those were at the beginning.
What were those guys doing?
Yeah.
Oh, look, and I got a new mic, so I'm taking it a little bit more serious. So.
Nice. Yeah, episode 100, it's going to be all a bunch of set flats in the studio and makeup department.
There you cut out there.
I thought I was being funny.
I
thought I was being funny. And I was like, no. Okay, yes.
Top quality filmmaking from this Andrew guy over here.
Yeah. Can someone say you can find us on Spotify and all that shit, please?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts. Just look for Xbox North Podcasts. Also on Reddit, Instagram. Look at Xbox North Podcasts and Twitter at NorthXbox. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time with better sound.
See, we got that one good. And look, if you really look closely, you can see that we're all actually just Andrew.
See, I'm acting. I'm always acting, folks. I'm always acting. Yeah.
Take care, all.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you so much, folks.